What's up, guys? Welcome to SC Pyro Guy. Today we're going to do a cool test of some mortars versus preloads. So by now, most of you have probably seen these Raccoon preload sawed off mortars, and so these are marketed as they're supposed to be like just as good or better than your standard canister shells. I tested some over 4th of July. I really liked them, but I really want to see a side-by-side comparison. Not just a one shot. I want to fuse up a show with them. So what we're going to do is we are going to save a few to do like single shots just to test, but then I'm going to fuse the rest up into like a little mini show and just see what the overall effect looks like when they're fused together. Because these have mines. Most of these don't. You can get some that do, but most standard canister shells do not. So I just want to see, like, one, do these go as high as standard canister shells? And two, is the break as big? And three, how does the mine and the breaks and everything combine into a show compared to more traditional canister shells? So that's what we're going to test today. And then as a bonus, if you stay at the end of the video, we're going to test these Wampa 4-inch rockets. So I think it's going to be a fun one. Let's see what we can do. So let's start unboxing these and just look at how they're packed and kind of compare what they look like just versus regular canisters. But then I'm also going to try to pick out effects out of these two that match the effects of whatever canister shells we have just for the single shots to compare as like for like as we can. And then obviously when we fuse up everything, it'll just be whatever's left and it might be mix and match. I got these from Crazy Brent's in Simpsonville. The owner's a really nice guy. He heard what I was doing and had some stuff laying around that he set me up pretty good with. And then I bought these from Poor Paul's. So we're gonna test them out and see. But go ahead and let's open up. So you can see how these are packaged in here. And one of the benefits of these is supposed to be they're cheaper to ship. But it's just a standard little, your fuses on the side. I mean, these are so small. Grab one of these out. Actually, we'll grab one of the Raccoon ones. Do as like for like as possible here. So I mean, the canister shell is bigger. These are consumer, so they're limited to 60 grams. So theoretically, these are labeled as having 60 grams. This should have 60 grams. So even though size-wise, like, they're different, if you guys know consumer, this is probably got some empty cardboard in it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see. I want to pop open the Azura. I don't know why the Azura box is bigger, and that makes me wonder if these are a little bit taller. Okay, these are taller. These are definitely taller. Look at that. I don't know why these are taller. That'll be interesting to see. I bet there's some, oh, these have ring. So at least some of these have a ring effect. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah. These all have a ring effect, so that's why they're bigger, just because they had to pack it differently due to the fact that they have a ring effect. So, okay, well that's interesting. So next thing I want to do, I also kind of want to compare how easy it is to fuse these up versus these up. So I think we'll film that, and I'll cut it so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But these are the Maddox. I've never used these before. Honestly, I've never used any of these except for the RDX. I haven't used the Raccoon or Fox. These are Fox. I don't know which ones these are because it was a damaged box and there's nothing on there except for it's obviously a Fox brand. I don't know, like there's no other info on there. So, all right, I'm gonna clear off some space, set these up just so we see how big our work area is gonna be. If you're gonna fuse these up, you really need to screw them down. When we lit them singly, we just put a brick on the corner and that was fine. But if you're gonna fuse these up, you really should screw them down That way if one blows, it doesn't blow the whole rack of lit mortars basically firing everywhere. So, all right, I know what I need to get now, so we'll go do that. This is a similar effect. Not mad off.
Like a jellyfish.
Okay, now here's a good note. Look at that. I thought the bottoms on these were solid. That is not solid. That might be part of our problem. Oop, just dropped that one. Let's check these real quick. That one held. That one held. Okay. Let's try to find a good spot for this one. Hopefully this one holds. That's crazy. All right, here we go. Almost slipped. I think it buried it again. It broke it. Wow, that's crazy. I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay.
Did something fire?
All right, so I'm filming this a couple weeks after the shoot. I've had some time to think, had some time to look at the footage, and I've got some thoughts for you guys. I cut all of the footage of fusing the show up. It was boring. It took way longer than I expected, and I just didn't think it'd be good. So I have some thoughts. These RDXplosion shells are awesome. The brakes were nice. The mines are really cool. I really like mines, even though, and we'll kind of get to this in a bit. I don't think they add as much to a show necessarily. And these should be cheaper. The shop that I bought them at, they sell them for 30, or they have them listed at like 35 for 12, and then they sell regular cans at 89 for 24. So they're cheaper. Some shops are going to upsell them and they're going to charge you more. So you have to be kind of careful where you buy them. They're convenient. You don't have to have if you don't have an 18 shot rack or 24 shot rack or any rack, you can make a little show out of these with just some fuse, some screws, and a board. You do need to screw these down. They cannot safely just be laid out, and I think that's an important thing people really need to understand. And even screwing them down is not necessarily foolproof. You need to have plenty of space in order to do that. I think they were a pain to set up. I think there's probably easier ways to do it. I'd be interested to see if I used glue, if it would be a little bit easier, but they were not easy. Running 2 screws in each one, and then I didn't save one to show you, but the base of them is not symmetrical. So whatever orientation it's in, when you set it up and you mark your holes, it has to be in that same orientation when you drill the holes. So I didn't pay attention to where the fuse was pointing, so I actually had to twist several of them, which meant I had to do new holes, and it was a pain. These broke way lower for me. I'm not going to say they broke unsafe height, but I'm also not going to say it was the best. Because to be honest with you, there was at least one of these that I remember thinking I was inside of. And I wasn't. I didn't get hit with anything. It was completely safe, but it didn't feel as good. These went high, and the ring effect was really cool. My wife comments, and you can hear in the footage that one of them looked like a jellyfish. So that was cool. These were really awesome. These all blew through the plastic base. The plastic base on these looks a lot more solid than it is. You need to have a good solid surface to put them on, and you need to have them screwed down. I can't emphasize that enough. We actually had one even screwed down, fall over, broke the base, and fell over, thankfully after it already fired. So I personally will probably buy some of these for next 4th of July. I will not replace regular cans with these. I think the regular cans went higher. I think the regular cans were a lot easier to set up. And they do cost a little bit more. There are deals to be had, especially if you're buying bulk pack. These are cool. I'll probably use some. I've got some ideas for how you can maybe use them as like, a burst here, burst there for the mine with the explosion, the break up in the air. But I personally think they were awesome. I don't think they're really a replacement for cans. Not completely. If you don't have a rack and you have no intention of buying or making a rack with tubes that's, built solidly and safely, then you could use these, like I said, screwed to a board and fused up, and you're good to go. You still need to have a lot of space, especially with how weak some of the bases were. And you can see in some of the footage, the mine adds something, but I don't know. It really depends on if you like a mine. So I will say, and you'll see in the footage that when you're looking up at the brakes, the mine kind of gets lost. When you're looking at the mine, the brakes kind of get lost, especially on camera. In person, maybe a little bit different, but on camera, you can't really focus on both at the same time. So all in all, I think this is a great product. I love to see the innovation going on. If you don't know, this is just a little bit of nerdy behind the scenes detail. Anything that says that certified sawed off preloaded mortar, it's actually made by Hammer and Anvil, and they have the patent on that, and then Raccoon loads their own shells into it. So I love to see that, and Raccoon's got some of their own innovations that they're doing in other areas like cakes. So I think that it's really good to see this kind of thing going on. And I just don't think it's a replacement for cans for someone that has the racks and is willing to buy more racks if they need to. So all in all, that's my thoughts. What do you guys think? What did you think from the video? I didn't show all of the footage because it got a little bit excessive, but what did you guys think? Would you take the RDX or the Azura Chaos over regular cans, or are you going to stick to regular cans in your show? Let me know.
Dang. That's a good one.
Yeah, the one I didn't record.
I got far away.
You good?
Yeah.
Man.